Miscommunication, what I thought was love. Of course I long for love. Who doesn't? That special someone to sweep me off my feet, the sine qua non, my alpha, my beta, the meat for my potatoes, the one and only, the soul mate. Of course I want this, but I remain miscommunication. Know how to make standing in line at the grocery store even more excruciating? Being stuck behind a chatty Charles. Want to put a nail in that coffin? Have him start crying. Living near Whole Foods and Harris Teeter makes grocery shopping less of an ordeal, but one simply must remember to never shop HT on a Thursday. Thursdays, the nearly departed teeter into the store to receive their precious 5% discount and clog the aisles with their glacial pace shopping, insipid smiles, and ugh, smell. I endured the omnipresent presence of the pre-senile as I zipped over to the Vita Venum aisle, grabbed 2 bottles of Chardonnay, and click-clacked my stilettos to the express checkout, only to find it closed. WTF, HT? I did a quick turn on my heel with the intention of zipping to the shortest queue, only to have the proverb, "He who hesitates is lost," reverb through my brain. By the time I spied the short line, a gray-haired, droopy-shouldered oldster had maliciously pushed his cart into line in front of me. I exhaled hard, hit the brakes, and tip-tapped my sinister toes as I held a perfumed hanky to my nose to mask the smell of the semi-dead. I am MMOB when Ancient Andy turns his head my way. My head tilts, my nostrils flare, my brows rise. Note, furrowing foreheads means more frequent Botox. Try not to do it. And I await his insipid introduction to small talk. I exhale hard to punctuate my impatience, and AA nods and mumbles, "Bonnie Tyler." I bring my mask of superiority, look from a 7 to an 11, reply, "No, miscommunication." No, AA says, "Definitely Bonnie Tyler, holding out for a hero." Sundays are sub days, I respond, assuming he's from some uncivilized part of the USA that uses the word hero or hoagie rather than submarine sandwich, aka a sub, punctuating my disdain with a quick eye roll. No, the Muzak, he replies, shaking his head vigorously before croaking. "I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero till the morning light. He's got to be sure, and it's got to be soon, and he's got to be larger than life. You know that song." "Sure," I reply, smiling and nodding and wishing the cashier would hurry so we could both be on our ways. Yeah, his head shakes, reverting to head nods so vigorous and continuous that it reminds me of a bobblehead doll. I made the mistake of using that song as a template for my father's eulogy. Thought it was a great idea at the time. After all, my old man was larger than life and one hell of a hero, but now every time I hear it, I get choked up. So let that be a lesson to you, young lady. I swear with the young lady he started to blubber, which, along with his story, moved me. It moved me to tell my own tale of sadness via tying a popular song to a traumatic event. "I know exactly what you mean," I said. "Remember the Santana song, 'Winning'? Every time that song comes on, I think about my ex, Rudolph Valentino. I really thought Rudy was the one. We started out all cash and worked up to steady to exclusive and even talk tying the knot, you know. Then for Christmas, I gave him some of those custom socks with faces on them. Only the socks I gave him weren't covered with pictures of my face. They were full nude R13. Know what I mean? He loved them, and they were kind of like when people your age would put a tie on the doorknob of your dorm room to let your roommate know you were doing the hokey pokey. When Rudy was in the mood, he'd slip into his Christmas socks to let me know he was hot to slip into me. It was perfect until one day he stopped wearing them. I let it go at first. I mean, it wasn't like the sex stopped or became any less orgasmic fantastic, but it bothered me. I even texted him one night before our date and said he should wear the socks if he wanted a sock, but he shows up without them. Well, that was it. He asked where I want to go to dinner. I say Fleming's Prime Steakhouse and Wine Bar because he knows it's pricey, and after dinner he drives me back to my place ready to make the two-back beast, but I break up with him. Say it's been lovely, but we're through. No explanation, cut him off, and left him to his own manipulations concerning any blue balls he might be suffering from. It felt great, you know, empowered. Funny thing was, I found one of his special socks stuck in between my couch cushions. We hadn't really undressed fully before thumping the monkey hot and hard one night, and I guess it slipped off and neither of us noticed, and Rudy was too embarrassed to tell me he lost one of those socks. It's really a pity. He was a great lay and he made a lot of money, so yeah, I think of him every time that Santana song comes on, just like you and Bonnie Tyler and your dead daddy, I said with a big smile, just as it was his turn to have his groceries rung up. I gave him a finger wave as he grabbed his card to leave, and after paying the cashier for my vino, I left HT singing, I had a dream, but it turned to dust. What I thought was love, that must have been lust. I was living in style when the walls fell in. When I played my hand, I looked like a joker. Turned around, fate must have woke her, 'cause Lady Luck, she was standing outside the door. The sad part is, both stories were true. I kind of miss Rudy.